Welcome to another edition of DX Engineering Videos. Today here in Tallmadge, Ohio, the headquarters of DX Engineering, we have Jim, N9TK. Welcome, Jim.
Thanks, Tim.
Where is home for N9TK?
I live in Orland Park, a little southwest suburb from Chicago.
From Chicago, okay.
Grew up in that area and been there ever since.
So what got you interested in amateur radio?
Well, let's see, I was 12 years old and I had a ruptured appendix. I'm on the gurney in the hospital and my dad said, "You pull through this, Jim, you can get anything you want." I said, "Dad, I want a Star Roamer, a night kit, you know." And when I got out of the hospital, we did the radio, and a couple years later, I got my novice ticket, and I had my ticket for 5 years and left ham radio when I got into high school and stuff. And then about 20 years ago, I thought, I need a hobby again. So I got my I never forgot the code, I aced my extra, and in '97 I went to Dayton, met some DXers in my area, and met the Herd Island group, which two of the guys here today were on Herd Island, and that's when I got bit by the DXpedition bug. So my first major trip was in 2000. I went to Clipperton with Bob Alfin and that group, and it's been, with career and family, it's a little difficult. I'm somewhat part-time now, so I can do more things, but just the thrill of the whole experience. And Bouvet is, I've always done tropical trips. The Bouvet trip is something that I've always wanted to do, a subarctic expedition. And
so tell us where Bouvet is. You're going to go there next January.
Yes. Well, it's roughly 2,700 nautical miles from the southern tip of Chile and about 1,500 miles from South Africa. So it's 15 days by boat each way from Chile.
Wow.
I do get seasick. So I'm hoping for a nice comfortable berth and my bucket. So
it sounds like the trip of a lifetime. I mean, when you think about getting back into the hobby in the late 90s and meeting up with some DXpeditioners. I mean, you talked about K4UEE and your K0IR and W0GJ, these guys that have been all over the place.
Yeah.
You had a dream to do this one day, right?
Yeah.
And you're about 12 months out now.
Yep.
So what goes through your mind? What are you thinking about?
Well, this is the toughest one that I've ever, the tropical ones are hot and sweaty, but they're, you land in a Zodiac or whatever, but this there's a little concern about safety. A helicopter, what if the helicopter breaks, or, so those are things that are of concern. There's always, but there was two things about a DXpedition, and to me, it's that after all the hard work, and you get on the island, and you turn on the radio, you make that first QSL. That's just an exciting thing, and then it's the grind. It's the 8 or 10 hour shifts, and after all of this, it's all done, and then it's the trip home, and of course, like anything, the best part is when you get home. So,
right. Now
it's a great thing.
If you think about this a little bit, when you're on the island, and things have settled down, you're going to think back to that Night Kit Star Roamer receiver?
Oh yeah, I have one.
Yeah.
The first thing I bought when I got back into radio on eBay, I bought a Star Roamer because I had given it away when I was in high school.
Right.
The first thing I bought was a Star Roamer.
So I mean, it comes full circle, but something tells me that when you were a kid and it's lasted all this time, you fell in love with the magic of radio.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's I still, when I hear some weak Russian station coming over the pole and it's fluttering, and you picture some guy in his house, and I had an experience on Duffy, J1BK. I've had some great experience with Con. I was this huge pilot. Duffy was an all-time new country, right? And I worked the G station, and I could just picture the guy in his living room, this huge raging pilot, and he goes, I don't have a very good British accent, but he goes, Sally, do you mind waiting for a standby for my wife, my XYL, to make a QSO? And sure, go ahead. And I could just picture them in their little library in England somewhere, and So I don't know, I guess I'm rambling, but
No.
those are things that, now there's some funny things too, you know, a lot of funny things that happen.
But radio is about imagination.
Oh yeah,
it is,
and people don't understand that. You know, most of the, you know, it's the internet, and you know, you talk to people all over the world. Why wouldn't you just use your cell phone?
Right.
But the idea you can hang a wire. I live in a townhouse. I have wires. That's it. But you know, you can still work a lot of stuff with simple antennas.
Right. Right.
Sometimes I'll run power, and I call that, my good friend that got me started in this recently, he calls it antenna by iMac.
Well, that can certainly improve the situation. Might even meet a few neighbors that way.
Well, yeah, you know. Luckily, everything's in cable TV now. So.
Yeah, no, that's great. Well, Jim, we wish you a lot of luck. We wish you a very safe voyage and a safe return. And we hope that you will come back here to DX Engineering once it's all said and done and tell us all about it.
And we sure appreciate your participation and all the help. It's been an exciting day here, and it's a very impressive organization. It's top notch. It's been beautiful.
Well, we really thank you for your comments, and we thank all of you for watching another edition of DX Engineering.